Hello friends, I welcome all the participants for our webinar on how to write a research manuscript current protocols. As you know friends, as an engineer we might came across many of the problems and this COVID-19 is one of such a problem. But during this pandemic time we should not stop our learning, and as an engineer we have found out the solution. We are going to organize the webinar series in which different topics we are going to cover. But our today's topic is how to write a research manuscript on current protocols. Now I will introduce regarding our today's speaker. Today's speaker is Dr. A.B. Shinde. He is working as a Dean Research and Development at Annasaheb Dange College of Engineering, Asta. Now he is having wide experience in the field of research. Almost he is having 8.5 years of research experience along with a teaching experience. Now his area of interest are COMSOL multiphysics, molecular dynamics and so on, or you might have gone through the speaker profile which I have shared on your WhatsApp groups. Now without wasting much of the time, I request Dr. A.B. Shinde to start off the session. Lower back to your screens and you can have the full session. In order to get the maximum benefits from these sessions, what you need to do, you need to be receptive for next almost 1 hour or 1.5 hours. The time depends upon the contents which you are going to cover and the understanding level of each and every one of you. So without wasting much of the time, I request Dr. A.B. Shinde to take the charge and enlighten us. Please sir. Thank you.
Hello aspirants, welcome for this webinar session. I hope you all are healthy and safe at home. As an engineer, we all are committed to give solutions to all almost technical problems which come across us. We have to give solutions of the problems in a very systematic way. Therefore, this webinar is organized on how to write a research manuscript. I am Dr. working as Dean Research and Associate Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Annasaheb Dange College of Engineering and Technology, Asta, Sangli. Now first, I will give brief introduction about my organization. My name of organization is Sant Jnaneshwar Shikshan Sanstha, Islampur, which is established in 1986. Near about total 35 institutions are there. In that, few primary schools are there, high schools are there, training centers are there, and colleges are there. Near about 10,869 students are taking knowledge, more than 500 teaching staff is there, and more than 400 non-teaching staff is there. In my institute, following programs are offered: mechanical engineering, electronics and telecommunication engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, automobile engineering, aeronautical and food technology. Now, total intake is 660. Some achievements are there. My institute is established in 1999. Now we have got ISO certification in 2010. NBA accreditation is there. NAC A grade is there, and current status is autonomous. Now we'll move towards our main topic, and this is the content. Now I have divided my presentation in 3 stages. Now first stage will be general information about publication. Second, here research paper structure, and third stage will be how to submit that research paper and what are the requirements of the editors and reviewers. Now in first stage we'll discuss about the scientific publication industries, what are the research elements, how to select particular journal, what is meant by abstracting and indexing, what is meant by SCIE, SCIE, ESCI, Scopus, and what is the need of a publication. This part I am going to cover in first stage. In second stage, research paper structure. In that, in detail, we are going to see that how to write manuscript, what are the steps in that. And after completion of that, in third stage, we are going to see how to submit, which protocols we have to follow, and what are the requirements of editors and reviewers for that particular journal. Now, first slide, this slide gives information about scientific publication industries. Now, here, if you see, these are the publishers. Now, Elsevier is there, Learn Societies are there, Springer is there, Village is there, Taylor and Francis is there, and other commercial publishers are there. Now, we can publish our paper in through this or to this publisher, through these publishers. Now, normally it means from engineering disciplines, normally we are preparing Elsevier is there, ASM is there, Springer is there, Village, the Taylor and Francis. Now I will concentrate on this Elsevier. Now again Elsevier, that publisher publishes that research papers, we can say research manuscript, we can say research articles. They are publishing through discipline wise. Now these are the disciplines: material science and engineering, chemistry and chemical engineering, physics, like that various disciplines are there. Now through that disciplines, according to that disciplines, that manuscripts are called, and after accepting that manuscript, they are publishing through these disciplines. Now, see, as an engineer, we have to solve the problems. If any problem is there, for the problem solution is there. And how to find solution. Okay, how to find solution or to go for that research. Now some research elements are there. Now here, if any problem is there, to that problem, if you want to give solution, now for that solution we have to decide some methods. Now how to use solution or how to find solution for that particular problem. Now for that purpose we have to establish some methods. Okay, now there are different methods are there to achieve our results or solution. Now in that, first method is the analytical method, second method is experimental method, third one is the simulation method. If you see analytical method, in that with the help of formulas, with the help of mathematical equations, some by using some theoretical background, we have to find the results, we have to find the solution. Then we can go for the experimental. If we are not that much expert in mathematics, now we can go for the experimentation. Directly we can fabricate that particular part, we can develop machine, and we can take the testing on that part or that workpiece on that particular machine, and we can find the results, and we can see what is the physics, what actually happens in that we can see, or what are the results that we can see with the help of experimental. That's why it is called as the experimental method. And third one, nowadays a number of softwares are available, some open source softwares are also available. With the help of that we can find solution of that particular problem with the help of software. By sitting in a cabin or in a room, you can find the solution for that. That's why these are the some methods to find the result. Now in that, after that, we have to establish some methods. Now according to that, we have to go for the simulation, then we have to conduct experiment, then we have to go for the validation of these two, and after that, simulation and experimentation and analytical methods, we have to collect data, and that data we have to analyze and interpret. Here analysis and interpretation of a data, and then after that finally we have to prepare manuscript, we can say research article, we can say research paper. Now these are the research elements. Now here we will assume our research manuscript is ready. Here we are assuming here. Slide is related to very important. Now my manuscript is ready. Now what is to be done? Now I have to go for, or I have to select journal for my research manuscript. Now for that, number of ways are there. Now I will tell some means very general method so that everyone can follow, and that is very easy. In Google search engine, if you type Springer Journal Finder or Elsevier Journal Finder, and once you click on that, you will get window like this. Now in that, you have to fill information regarding paper title, paper abstract, keywords, and your related field. Now if you see in this slide, the title is there, multi-objective optimization of the split and recombine micromixture using Gray relational analysis method. Title is here. Now related to that, here I have inserted, or here I have filled that abstract. Now what are the methods, which methods I have used, what is aim, what are the outputs, results, everything summary I have given here. And keywords, whatever the keywords I have used, that we have to fill here. And engineering and sub, here micromixture is there, that's why I have considered chemical engineering. Once you will fill that information, and here if you click find journals, you will get of journals like this. Now number of that journals will appear here. I have taken few, means only 3 journals I have taken. Screenshot of that. Now like this you will get 10-15 journals related to your topic. Now if you see here, chemical engineering research and design is there, or advances in engineering software is there, computers and chemical engineering is there. Now see, these are related to your work or your paper. Now if you see carefully each journal, they have given information about that particular journal. How much is the impact factor of that particular journal? See, elsewhere is there definitely, that is from Scopus, SCIE, ESCI, SCIE category. Okay, that's why impact factor is the 3.073. Acceptance rate they have given 22%. Means here, if you submit 100 papers, out of that 22 papers they are accepted. Now here time duration is also given. Time to first decision means if once you will submit, now you will get first decision from reviewer, that is a 7 week. Means after first revision you will get some comments. Now whether we have minor correction or revision, major revision, like that you will get the decisions. And after that, once your paper is means accepted, then it will take 4 weeks to publish. Like this information you will get for that particular journal. Again, in detail information you will get on that journal website. Once you will click on that, you will get this aim and scope. Very important, you have to read this aim and scope of that particular journal. Why? Because they will give in that aim and scope of that particular journal, they will give the major areas, and you have to check whether my paper is fit in that area or not. Okay, and again formatting related instructions, if you want to find that, you will get from the guide for authors. Now their guide for author one PDF, you will get that 3-4 pages PDF is there. In that they will give detailed information. Now which type of formatting is required, all that information is given in this guide for authors. Now again on that journal website you will get the accepted types of the papers. Now whatever the paper they have accepted, recent volumes are there, recent issues are there. Now you will get that also. You can read that. Means from that you will you can check now whether my paper will be published or not, or that judgment we can take by reading that papers. Now again some current hot topics are also there, and publication period, that information is available on that journal website. Now here we have to take care, our special note is there, do not submit your paper to more than one journal at a time. See, this is the protocol. Okay, suppose my manuscript is ready. Now it is my duty or it is my responsibility, only means I have to submit that paper to for only one journal. Don't submit that paper to Springer, at the same time to elsewhere. See, their database is strong, they are, this is not ethical. Okay, that's why do not submit your paper to more than one journal. Now I have selected journal, I got list of that journal, then I have to go for the abstracting and indexing. Now first we will discuss about what is meant by abstracting and indexing. Now see, abstracting and indexing is, from that you will get the information, means which level or level of that journal you will get, or which type of or level of that particular journal we can find with the help of this abstracting and indexing. Now in that SCI is there, SCIE is there, ESCI and Scopus is there. Now what is, now see, everyone is talking about quality papers. Now quality papers, how we can realize this is a quality paper? Now for that they have given some, we can say they are assigned these words SCI, means Science Citation Index. If your paper is of that category, Science Citation Index, we are considering that is a quality paper. Again, SCIE, Science Citation Index Expanded. Again, this is also considered as the quality paper. ESCI is also considered as the quality paper, and Scopus is also considered as the quality paper. But if you see the level, now SCI, SCIE is at the top level. Below that ESCI, and below that Scopus is there. Like that trend is there. That's why once we have selected, once we have gone for the selection of journal, now next step we have to select the whether this journal comes under SCI, SCIE, ESCI or Scopus. Now for that purpose we have to use this abstracting and indexing. Now how to go for this? Now in that, if you click on that journal, now you will get like this window. Now here I have gone for the means Tribology International. I have selected this Tribology International journal. I went to that website. Now you will get window like this, and here if you see here abstracting and indexing tab is there. If you click on that, you will get information like this. Next you will get information like this. Now here Web of Science is there, Science Citation Index is there, then again here Scopus is there, another abstracting and indexing are there. But normally in our engineering or nowadays NIRF or whatever the NBA, they are asking about whether that is SCI, ESCI paper. Okay, that's why we can check like this. This is abstracting and indexing. Now this information I have taken from Elsevier. Now if you want to go for the to check abstracting and indexing of Springer journal, again on that journal website at the bottom you will get that information. Now this is for the microsystem technology journal is there. Now in that, if you see here at the end, Science Citation Index is there, Science Citation Index Expanded is there, and Scopus is also there. Now what is the difference between Science Citation Index and Science Citation Index Expanded? There is no any difference such as there is no big difference. Now Science Citation Index is means that is available in the form of a CDs and DVDs. But Science Citation Index Expanded, that whatever the paper that are not available in the form of a CDs and DVDs. Only that much is difference is there. Otherwise both are on same platform. Okay. Next, types of the research papers. Here there are 4 types of the research paper. Conference paper is there, short communications are there, then original articles and review papers. These 4 types of the research papers or research manuscripts are there. Now conference paper. In progress research findings means suppose we have considered or we have gone for the PhD or somebody is solving problem, and at initial some results are there. Now we want to publish that initial readings. Now we can go for the conference paper. Okay, and a limitation, no, this is not hard and fast rule that pages 5 to 10 pages and near about 3 figures, that is sufficient for the conference paper. Here we have to whatever the initial results or that we can publish through this conference paper. Short communications, early reports of significant original advances. Now if you take the COVID-19 example, now that papers are coming of 2-3 pages, 3-4 pages. Okay, see in that not that much detailed research is there. Very short means some reviews are there, some conclusions are there in that 2-3 pages. Now that type of that papers we can say short communications. Original articles, now here after completion of your research work in detail you have to write information. Complete research findings you have to mention. Now here that research article will be of 8 to 10 pages, near about. That is not again hard and fast rule. 5 to 8 figures are there and near about 25 references are there. This is regarding the original article. And review papers typically, now here review paper, here there is no need to your scientific that research work, but here thorough reading. You have to collect lot of papers for that particular topic. You have to study from starting to end. You have to find the what are the results, findings are there from that, conclusions are there, and you have to write very systematic way. That is the review paper. And pages more than 10 pages, more than 8 figures, and here normally if that review paper is there, if topic is very hot, means very recent topic, you will get the means less references. But if topic is means though that is new one, but already work has been done at that time, references should be more than 80. That is means again here there is no hard and fast rule more than 80, but approximately that whatever the papers you have taken for reading, that should be more than 80, like this. See here 4 types of the research papers are. Now we'll go for the stage number second, means actual research paper structure. Now in that, normally this is the structure of manuscript, research article or research paper. Now first title will be there, abstract is there, keywords are there, then main text, introduction, which methods you have implemented, after that which different results, and for that results you have to discuss, and finally conclusions, acknowledgement, who helped you, then references and supplementary data. Now we'll discuss one by one. Now here if you see right side, write in the same order you read. Again here they have given one general guideline. If you want to start to write any research manuscript, how to start? Again this is not hard and fast rule. How to start normally? They have given guidelines, means first you can go for the figures and tables. Then after that you write for methods, the results and discussion. Then you go for the conclusions and introduction, and finally you write abstract and title. See, this is one general guideline they have given. Now why they have given this? Because someone is writing paper in different way, means first he will write abstract, then he will write title, then keywords, like that, then introduction, normal that steps somebody follows. But this is a one general guideline, means we can start like this. Now why? Here logic is there. See, if any problem is there, we have to find the solutions. We are finding solutions, we are getting data. Now it is very easy. If data is there, we can create figures and tables, or tables, and with the help of that tables we can go for the figures. Now here we can write that, we can write for that with the help of figures and table, whatever the trend is there, okay, that information we can write. Then to achieve that figures and that table, that data, which methods we have implemented, we have to write that. Suppose I have gone for the experimentation, then I will write method about experimentation method. In that setup is there, how that workpiece I have prepared, like that information I will write. Then from that results, which results I have got, and then with the help of these figures, because that figures are there, trends are there. Now I will write about that figures, we can say discussion. I can write discussion with the help of these figures and tables. And finally I can go for the conclusions and introduction. This is because in this introduction we have to write information about, means how that topic started, and then what is the research gap is there, and our objectives, that we can write. And then abstract and title. This is one general guidelines. Okay, but you can start by your own way. There is no hard. Now next slide. This slide is related to title of research paper. Now how title should be there? A good title should contain the fewest possible words that adequately describe the content of a paper. Fewest possible words means few words should be there, and that should be adequate to describe the content of a paper. Now next slide we'll discuss about these keywords. Okay, just remember some keywords. Now effective titles identify the main issue of the paper. When we can say that title is effective, if we can identify the main issue of a paper, means once I read that title of paper, from that I will get more idea, means what part will be there, which method they have used, all that information I should get from by reading that title. Begin with the subject of the paper. Effective titles are accurate, unambiguous, specific, and complete. Effective titles are as short as possible, that do not contain rarely used abbreviations. Okay, means some abbreviations are there. Suppose in my paper that split and recombined micromixture is there. Okay, but that is not well known. Now I should not use that. SARM means split and recombined micromixture, because that is not well known. But if you write FEA analysis, now everyone know finite element analysis, CFD analysis, like that you can use, but avoid using that abbreviations in a title. Next, abstract. How should be the abstract? Again, it is a freely. Now, what is use of this abstract? We'll discuss about that, and then we'll discuss which part should be there in abstract. Now, what is use of abstract? If you see on every journal page, now volumes are there. If you click on that, now normally you will get the abstracts of that particular every papers. You will get the abstracts. Why? Because it is freely available in electronic abstracting and indexing services, and this is the advertisement of your article. Now see, this is easily available. Abstract is easily available everywhere. Why? Because people will read that abstract, they will get more interest in your paper, and they will try to download your paper. If permission is there, they can download. If permission is not there, they will download by paying some amount. Okay. Now here for that purpose, abstract is used for advertisement of your research article. Now again, by reading your that abstract, they will download your paper and they will cite your paper. Okay, for that purpose, that abstract is kept. That is, you will get, that is freely available. Okay, advantages are there, because first thing that will be the advertisement of your paper, advertisement of that particular journal, advertisement of that particular publisher is there. Okay, that's why abstract is very important. Everyone is going to read your abstract. Now that should be very strong. Okay, that should be very interesting. That's why abstract, make it interesting and easy to be understood. Without reading the whole article, one can understood your that complete paper. Then what has been done? What are the main findings? Okay, that part should be in that abstract. Now see, normally again rule of 10 is there. Now what is the rule of 10? Two sentences about introduction and aim, three sentences about which materials and methods you have used, then three sentences about results, and two sentences about discussion and conclusion. This is the rule of 10. Okay, again there is no hard and fast rule. Some of the journals are there, they want 120, that word limitation is there. At that time this rule of 10 will not be applicable. Okay, but you have to write in this way. Introduction, you can write in one sentence, materials and method 1-2 sentences, then results 1-2 sentence or 2 sentences, and final conclusion 1 sentence. Like that also you can write if if word limitations is there for particular journal. Okay, for these keywords again similar to, now along with that abstract you will get keywords, same task is there from that keywords. Now whenever I want to find particular paper, at that time I will type some keywords. Now immediately that will take, I will get papers related to that keywords. Okay, for that purpose keywords are used. If you see, and normally that keywords may, means number of keywords will be there from the title. Okay, now if you here one example is there, an experimental study on evacuated tube solar collector using supercritical CO2. Now here solar collector, one keyword is there. See here, supercritical CO2, solar energy, solar thermal utilization. See, these are the keywords. Near about me these keywords, if you see, if you make sentence with the help of these keywords, you will get title. Okay, like this we have to write keywords. This is one example. This is my paper. This is published in SCIE journal, Industrial Tribology and Lubrication, MLA publication. Now here title, effect of partial grooving on the performance of a hydrodynamic general bearing. Here that bearing, hydrodynamic general bearing, that subject is there. In that partial grooving means I'm going to, or I have gone for study of this effect of partial grooving on the performance of a hydrodynamic general bearing. Some performance parameters are there that I have written here in keywords: fluid film pressure, frictional power loss, frictional torque, load carrying capacity. See, performance parameters. And here effect of partial texturing means surface microtextures, effect of this, and hydrodynamic general bearing. Now which method I have implemented here? Numerical analysis. Okay, means from this title, see, short, adequate, less words I have used here, and from that I came to know that here I have gone for study. I have studied the effect of partial grooving on the performance of this general bearing. And here abstract, purpose is there, one line. Design methodology approach, which methods, materials I have used. Again here I have gone for the numerical, one software I have used. Validation I have gone for the results, and which methodology I have implemented, that I have listed here. Then findings and originality or value, what is used for my research work. Like that abstract is there. Keywords means in that way you have to write. It is very simple. Okay, this is not a big task. Once you have a lot of results, if you have a lot of figures and all that things, now very easily you can write the abstract. And normally we have to write this abstract at the end, because I have gone through all the steps, and from that just I have to take cream, and that I have to write in abstract. Okay, now next, introduction. After title, abstract, keywords, now we have to start the introduction. Now clearly address the following. Now according to this we have to write the this section, we can say. Now introduction section is there, after that method section is there, then results and discussion section is there, conclusion section is there. Now like this we'll discuss. Now in the section of introduction, now what is the problem? Are there any existing solutions? Which is the best solution so far? What is its main limitation? What do you hope to achieve? And how will you fill the gap? See here in introduction, first some 2-3 lines or small paragraph should be there, that actual problem starting of that problem. Means if any topic is there tribology, you have to write from beginning. Okay, and what is the current problem, for that we have to write, and for that whatever the work, existing work is there or existing solution, literature review we can say here, and that we have to write very systematic way. See here again, there is no hard and fast rule. You can write year wise, or you can categorize. Suppose the studies there, you can categorize, like means some analytical work is there, simulation work is there, experimental work is there. Like that also you can go for the that literature study, or you can write that literature review like that. But that flow should be maintained. Okay, means one paper or one that category shows, means here limitation is there. Further that next researcher worked on that and they have got some results, but again some limitation is there. Next one has gone on that work, like that flow should be there. Okay, and then which is the best solution so far, means finally whenever last paper will be there, whenever last that review will be there, that should be means current best solution must be there. And after that again in that paper some limitations will be there. That main limitation we have to identify, and on that limitation we have to work. See, that limitation tells us to work on that, and based on that work we have to identify research gap, and we have to find the solution for that. Okay, like this we have to write. Means here first 2-3 lines should be there regarding that starting of that area and problem, then existing solution, literature review, and that flow should be maintained. Best solution we have to find, and again after finding best solution some limitations are there, that we have to identify, and that we have to consider as a research gap, and for that how to achieve to that limitations, on that we have to work, and after working on that we will get that results that we have to write from the next sections. Okay, fill the gap. Methods. Now at the end of introduction section, now there you will write gap of research gap, and based on that your objectives. Now that objectives you will achieve with the help of by implementing some methods, as I discussed. Different methods are there. Now in that we have to write in detail which methods we have implemented to achieve that objectives. Now in this section include detailed information. Now suppose you have gone for the analytical, you have gone for the experimental, you have gone for the simulation. You have to write detailed information. Why? Because whenever reader will read, that the reader should be able to reproduce the experiment. Suppose you have gone for the experimentation. Now reader should create same experimental facility at his own place, and he must or she should be in position to conduct that experiment. That much information you have to write in this method section. Or whatever, if you gone for the simulation, detailed information you have to write. Okay. Previously published procedures need not to be described in depth. Suppose same simple tension test, that experimental method is there. No need to write that simple tension test method in detail. If your new experimental setup is there, at that time you can write. But if already very means famous method is there, no need to write. At that time just you can cite, or you can here previously published procedures need not be described in depth. Just describe shortly, and you can provide citation for that. But here if you want to at the time of submission of that manuscript to journal, at that time as a supplementary material you can provide to that editor. Okay, then identify the equipment and materials used. Now for that again, for your research work, which material you have used, which equipments you have used, that information you have to write. Okay, write out full chemical biological compound names. If abbreviations are there, you have to write in detail there. Now see, In introduction, we have write background. Some gap is there, based on that objectives are there. After objectives, we have to achieve that objective. That's why we have gone for the methods. And by different methods, by using one of the method, we'll get some output. That is the result. And in that result section, tell a clear and easy to understand story. See, result section will consist of these things. The main findings. Okay, analytical descriptions. If you have got some results, now you can represent that results with the help of some mathematical equations, analytical descriptions. Then here minimal interpretation of results, and here in these results you have to mostly include figures and tables. Okay, now again we'll discuss about figures and tables. Now how that figure should be there, how that table should be there. Illustrations are critical because figures and tables are most efficient way to present results, and results are the driving force of the publication. Now see, this will indicate means work of your problem. This will the, we can say, interesting part, driving force of your publication. Okay, here from this you will get the means which new phenomenon you have gone for that and what is the trend for that. Okay, and that will be easily reflected through these figures and tables. Now whenever you want to read any new paper or any new research article, normally people they are reading the title, abstract, and further if you want to read in depth they are going for the figures and tables. Now from that immediately we can see what is the trend, which parameter is there in on x-axis, on y-axis, what is the trend, what is happening, which what is the physics behind that. They can realize very immediately with the help of figures and tables. Now that's why figures and tables are very important. See, after abstract, if you see, interesting part to read is figures and tables. That's why that figures and tables should be self-explanatory. Okay, that's how we have to, that whatever the captions and legends are there, we have to take care of that. Okay, that quality of figures and tables should be very nice, so that from that we can take more information. Okay, and whatever the formats are there for particular journal, we have to follow that. Discussion. Now results, in that result section you will get that figures and tables. Now in discussion, this is very important. Why? Here you have to write physics, what physics or what is the physics behind that trend. If suppose ascent curve is there, or suppose stress strain curve is there, that is the part of result. But in the discussion section you have to write, means up to elastic limit, that what actually happens. Stress strain is stress is directly proportional to strain, but what actually happens there. Then that yield point is there, then upper yield, lower yield, and ultimate stress is there at that rod breaks. Now what actually happens, that you have to write in discussion section. Okay, and this is very important because that tells the new phenomenon and information about that physics, what actually happens in that. That's why it is most important section. Here you have to, that interpretation is a critical interpretation, and significance and implications that will be reflected through this discussion. That's why this is very important discussion. Okay, the next conclusion. Here from this conclusion, how your work advantages the field from the present state of knowledge. Justify your work in the research field. Usages are there, extensions are there, applications are there. Now here in conclusions, whatever the conclusions are there, that you have to write by considering these points. What are the uses, how that will be, what are the extensions, and where this will be used, applications. and at the end you have to write some feature scope. Okay, now how one can extend this work or whatever the limitations of your work. This is a conclusion. References are there. Now in references, why references are used? Because that references will give means idea, means from that references we came to know that means we have that trend is there, we have referred that recent papers and whatever the current status of technology that we can identify with their proper references. Now conform strictly to the journal citation style. Now here references, first we'll discuss about writing style of that references. Now for particular journal, if Tribology International Journal is there from Elsevier category or Elsevier publisher. Now for that journal, separate style is there or their own style is there to write the references. Again citation style is there, and this information you will get in the guide for author. That 3-4 pages PDF file is there. In that you will get this information. Then editors may use plagiarism detect software to validate authenticity, give credit to original articles. Now see here references. While using these references, you have to refer papers which are published in SCIE, ESCI, SCIE, or Scopus indexed journals. Okay, whatever the uh, we can say some journals are available. Okay, they are not having Scopus indexing like that. Don't refer that. That will not be considered as means normally. That's why you prefer or you refer standard that research articles and you add in the references section. And here avoid excessive self citation. If I am going to write my paper, try to avoid my earlier work. Okay, you can refer others because I know what I have done. That's why try to avoid self citations. Then plagiarism. This is very important. In the plagiarism, now some journals they are having means normally 10% or 15% plagiarism is accepted. Now that is checked by some standard tools are there. Ternity is there, one of the tool. Now that plagiarism 10 to 15%, why that much is there? Because some softwares are there, they are checking continuously three words. If three words are there, they are considering that is copy paste. Now see, whenever we are writing in results and discussion everywhere, it is observed that it was seen that okay, or figure 1 shows, if these three or continuous keywords will be there, that will be considered as the plagiarism. Or in literature, because in literature we are writing work done by that particular author, and because of that also in literature review or literature work, in that section you will get the more plagiarism. That's why by considering all these issues they have considered 10 to 15 minutes 10 to 15%. Okay, that's why avoid this plagiarism. That plagiarism should be minimum. Don't copy paste. Okay, initially number of softwares are there, means editor what they are doing, once you are submitting to particular journal, first they are going for the plagiarism. They are not reading means in depth, they are just first going for the plagiarism. If plagiarism is less, then they are taking for the means they are reading, and they further process will start after plagiarism checking. If plagiarism less, next step will be there. If plagiarism is more, at that time they will give the send back that paper to you. Okay, the next, plagiarism, the act of presenting author's work or ideas as your own. Okay, plagiarism not good. Now again, different formats are there to write your paper. MLA and APA formats are there. Now MLA guidelines, APA guidelines. Now paper, what are the standard size they have given. Then paper margin, how much paper margin should be there from top, bottom, left, right. All that information they have given. Font size, how much font size should be there. Okay. Spacing, double spacing, single spacing, like that information they have given. Alignment of text, paragraph indentation is there, end of sentence, page numbers. Now regarding that, they have given standard formats. Again, title page, section heading, how should be that title page and section heading should be there. That is also given for book. Next is that cover letter and conflict of interest. Now see, once that manuscript is ready, next step, if you want to go further, if you want to submit at that time, at the time of submission, which things are required. Now normally first thing is that manuscript must be there. Second, cover letter. Third one, conflict of interest. Fourth one, graphical abstract. Sometimes they are asking graphical abstract. And then fifth one, separate figures are, then separate table. They want separate figures, separate tables. But out of these, few are compulsory. First one, manuscript. Second, sometimes manuscript is compulsory. Second, cover letter. Then third one, some journal they want conflict of interest, and some paper they want graphical abstract. But some of the journals are there, they don't want graphical abstract. If graphical abstract is there, it is okay. And some paper they want, some journal they want highlights. What are the main highlights of your paper? Like that requirements are there. Now highlights you can write. Now whatever the objectives are there, if you achieve that, you can write in that form. Okay. Highlights, whatever that paper will give means main output, you can tell as a highlight. Then cover letter. Now this cover letter is like application. Okay. You have to write this for that particular editor of that particular journal. Now in that you will write title of your manuscript. Now main findings, and you will add the list of your co-authors, approval of co-authors, like that. If your paper is in a revision, first revision or second revision, at that time you can write that information. Like that information is there. Again, while submitting your papers, some journals they are asking referees. Those who are means 3-4 referees, those who are working in your area and they have worked a lot in same domain, and they must not be your collaborators, they must not be best friends, they must not from your institution. That is the requirement. Referees are there. That's why whenever you are working in some domain, you identify 3-4 that experts in that domain, and whenever you are submitting your paper, you mention their names. Now at that time, you some information required means their name, email ID, institute, and why you are submitting or why you are giving that name. Means here you have to write the domain expertise of that particular referee. That much information you have to write. Okay. Conflict of interest. This is also one another text file is there. In that 1-2 sentences will be there. I don't have any conflict of interest in that particular research work, like that you will get that format of that conflict of interest also. Or in some journal they are giving the tick mark, the two options are there, yes or no, like that format is there, you have to select appropriate, and that will be the conflict of interest. Later that will be like a later. Okay, then suppose I have submitted paper, and after depending upon that time period I will get the revisions. Now suppose for that revisions again, if we are getting response from journal, now that will be in the form of means major revision, minor revision, accepted, rejected. Okay, if major revision will be there, they will give time depending upon that revisions work they have asked for, that they will give the time period, 1 month, 2 months, like that. Minor revision, short time period will be given. If accepted, no need to go for revision, and rejected means your paper is rejected because of some lacunas are there, a lot of reasons are there, they will give comments why your paper is rejected. That information you will get. But if major revisions will be there, then you have to see carefully one by one. You have to read each and every word, and you have to give the satisfactory answer to that, whatever the comments are there. Okay, and after that, see, you have to modify your manuscript as per that comments. And here again another one, that word file you have to submit. In that you have to write, suppose 10 comments are there, you have to write down, or two reviewers are there, they have given, suppose first reviewer they have given 5 comments, second they have given 5. Now reviewer 1, then in table comment number 1 you have to write comment, and below that response, whatever the work you have done in that paper, that information you have to write. Like this, five comments of first reviewer, 5 responses of that particular comments. Similar to that, second reviewer, 5 comments, responses for that 5 comments, that will be separate one word file, and according to that modifications you have to do in manuscript, that will be modified manuscript. Okay, now at that time you have to submit modified manuscript, as well as here comment, whatever the comment and response is, that another file is there, you have to submit that separate files. Like this you have to give answer. Why? Because as per that comment and response, they will check whether that manuscript is modified or not. Like this you have to go for these revisions. And then again in that, this will be prepare a detailed response letter. That will be considered the detailed response letter, means here reviewer 1, 2. For reviewer 1, what are the comments, and for that comments your responses you have to prepare like that, and you have to submit. Now summary. Now if any manuscript is there, title should be there. That title will give information about what the paper is about. Okay, that information will get from the title. Appellation you have to write. See, this is very important. Appellation, you have to write your name correctly. Then you have to write name of institution correctly, because in NIRF, NBA they are asking, they are checking from third party inspection. They are taking database from the Scopus, like that agencies. But suppose my institute name is Annasab Dange College of Engineering and Technology Ashta, and short form is also available, ADSET Ashta. If I write ADSET Ashta in my that paper, and if that is published, now here two names are there, ADSET Ashta and Annasab Dange complete name. Here ADSET Ashta, that paper that will not be considered. Now see, at that time that count will be less. That's why very important. This is very important. Appellation, that should be correct. Your name. Okay, that care we have to take. Abstract, short summary that can stand alone. Okay, because this is the cream that will give you detailed information about your manuscript. That is abstract. Keywords, index terms for the searching. Okay, introduction, what is the problem, what is known. Here literature review will be there. What is not known, from that gap will be there, and depending upon that gap our objectives will be there, and to achieve that objectives methods are there, materials and methods, how what you did it to achieve that objectives. Okay, and after implementing that methods, now what you found, that is the result. If results are there, you have to interpret that results, how you interpret the results. Now here you have to write physics, what actually happens in that phenomenon, why this is so. That is discussion, and after discussion, conclusions, some implications and impact of your research work. Acknowledgement, who contributed to the work and how, means who supported you, whose contribution is there, and how means finance, some facility like that, in that form you have to write. And references, how to find the works cited. Like these main points are there at the time of writing manuscript. Now see, journals are there, definitely they want to publish quality papers. See, again in market, that if quality papers are there, their impact factor is going to increase. If impact factor is there, that will be considered the quality journal, quality publishers. Okay, and that editors, or they want to publish research article, their aim is to publish research articles of a good quality, but at the same time they want some, or they are having some requirements, and that requirements are here. Requirements of strong research papers. Now a strong title, okay, that should be short, adequate. Title should be very strong. Make good use of figures and tables, and must include schematic. Okay, what are the schematic? Diagrams are there, figures are there, and tables are there. Okay, that quality should be there. Okay, then your research must be robust and solve a significant problem. See, these are the requirements, already we discussed it. But if you prepare our manuscript by considering these points, there are means more chances of publishing your research manuscript in that particular journal. While writing manuscript, we have to consider these points. Okay, these points will give guidelines, means how to write a research manuscript. Then write a clear abstract. You must write clearly and very nicely. Then focus on your paper productivity. Collaborate with experienced scientists and researchers. Now see, if in your paper, if you work in experts or scientists, those who are means in that field from last few years or long time, if you do work with them and if you publish, more chances are there. Okay, like that. Follow the journal's instructions carefully. Whatever the format is there, according to that format we have to write our paper. And respond honestly to the comments of the reviewers. Okay, these are the requirements. Now with this, I will stop my here session. Next session will be for question answering. If some doubts are there, we will discuss in detail. One by one, we will discuss. Now with this, I stop here. Thank you very much.
Hello friends, good afternoon. Once again I am here for the valedictory function. Now I must congratulate all of you for getting all the information to write a research manuscript. I hope that you might have understood how to write the research manuscript, and in coming days to come you can publish or you can prepare your work and you can publish it in well reputed journals. Now, as a part of the gratitude, we must thank our family members. We should not thank. Still, I will thank Dr. A.B. Shinde for giving his time and for enlightening us for last 1 hour or so. Now, in order to get your certificates, what you need to do, you need to check the comment box below. In that comment box, I have given the feedback form link. You can click on that link, you can fill up the feedback forms, and after submission of the feedback form, automatically you will get your certificate on your registered email ID. Now there is a simple problem. That problem goes as, in one day I can send only 100 certificates. So that if you will not receive the certificate, be patient, and after 2 to 3 days you can come back to us. Our contact details you are already knowing, and for next few hours I will make all our WhatsApp groups, Telegram channels public, so that you can give your valuable suggestions or your feedback, so that in coming future whenever we are going to organize such webinars, which things I need to or we need to take into consideration. I hope that you are going to help me with that. Till then, what you can do, you can stay at home, you can take care of your loved ones, stay home, stay safe, and thank you.